All right, our number 3 team is the Steelers.
Yeah.
Y'all remember 9-8, 9-8, 9-8? Well,
Yeah.
this year, I kind of teased you guys at the beginning of this, saying that there was going to be a coach that gets fired.
Yeah.
I think this is Mike Tomlin's last year with the Steelers.
Very well could be. You got a fan base calling for it, and the first time you drop under 500 since 2004, yeah.
And didn't Omar Khan just get an extension? Let me see. Omar Khan.
Think so. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yep. 2 weeks ago. New 3-year contract.
That sounds right.
You know what that spells out for me? That Mike Tomlin's probably not going to be here if they go. If they have a GM that's doing what he's supposed to do, and whenever you don't see just go back into history. Whenever you see a head coach that doesn't get an extension before the GM does, it spells bad news for the coach, because of what they're trying to say is like, Omar Khan is putting the players here. You're not getting it done. He's going out there and going to go get his players in the off-season market. What are you doing, Mike? I'm telling you, this is spelling bad news. So their attendance, they ended their season with a 10-7 record, and they're going to lose 2 games this year. They made a wild card playoff berth, losing to the Kansas City Chiefs in horrible fashion. Total offense, 23rd in the league, 317 yards per game. Passing yards per game, 27th at 192. Should have kept Justin Fields in. He led the team in rushing for like 6 weeks. Rushing yards per game, 11th, 125.2. If you kept Justin Fields in, you guys would have been probably top 5.
Yeah.
Points per game, 16, 22.4. You probably could have been in the top 10 if you kept Justin Fields in. Third down conversion, 39.5, tied 15. Now, the one thing that we saw when Russell Wilson came in at quarterback for them last year was an obvious thing that we heard in the media for the first 6 weeks. When are we going to throw it downfield to George Pickens? The first 3 weeks, he was launching the thing to George Pickens. And then we saw average Russell Wilson come out for the rest of the year.
Yep.
And they didn't switch back to the guy that won them 4 games. He was 4-2, I believe, in his starts.
Yep, sure was.
Their defense, of course, we don't need to talk about their defense. We aren't going to spend a lot of time on this. 12th in total defense, 8th in points allowed, 6th fewest rushing yards per game. Guys, we know who one of the best defenses is in the league. Cameron Hayward, at his age, is still playing at a high level, still top 10 DT. TJ Watt led the league in forced fumbles with 6. They're not going to slow down. They just got better in free agency. They got Darius Slay, who's trying to prove himself now, Joey Porter Jr. and Jalen Ramsey back there. They're not slowing down. They need to step up on their special teams. They're 22nd overall, but have one of the best kickers in the league. So the notable signings for this year, of course, we can't go past this without talking about DK Metcalf is the first one that they got. Then Aaron Rodgers, most notably, who I think is going to be pretty good for them, to be honest. I don't think he's going to be trash. I think he's just going to be – he'll be better than Russell Wilson. I can almost guarantee that. And then they get Kenneth Gainwell, which I think Kenneth Gainwell is just wasn't a good fit for him with the Eagles because they were just trying to find a running back, and they found Saquon, and they were like, it's okay. We'll let you find something else. I think Kenneth Gainwell will actually be okay. They get Donald Parham at tight end, which is crazy because they just got Jonnu Smith as well. And then, of course, a Jalen Ramsey trade with Minkah Fitzpatrick. Minkah Fitzpatrick I don't think he's bad anymore. I don't think he's superstar, but we'll see. He may have he might come out of nowhere and smack us in the mouth. Talking about their draft, they go in and get Derek Harmon. Feel good story. I like the things that happened after the fact. Maybe this is a pass on the torch for Cam Hayward. Who knows? By the way, we gave them a C+ grade. Caleb Johnson, we were like, no. You don't trade Najee just to get Caleb Johnson. That's not a fair trade. Jack Sawyer, seems like a Steeler guy. I like that.
Yes,
Yaya Black from Iowa. Love that pickup. Will Howard, who I think you're going to see later on this season be the starter.
Love it.
I love that. He just seems like a Steeler. That was a great pick. Dante Kent and then Carson Bruner. This is going to be a strange team, Don, to watch every single week. I don't think they're going to be struggling to find their identity. I just think like it's going to be obvious that what's his name is going to need to find a new place as a coach, right? I think Mike Tomlin's days are just numbered, and you're gonna see that week after week after week. It's going to be the slowest burn this season for Steelers fans. I can't wait to hear my father-in-law scream to the top of his lungs every single week of like, what the hell are we doing? It's going to be a mess, I think. I think George Pickens is going to be better and with the Cowboys than DK Metcalf will be with the Steelers, to be completely honest with you. That's just how I see this cookie crumbling. So what's your thoughts about the Steelers? I know your sister's a Steelers fan too.
Yes, she is. She would not be upset if she's among the Steelers fans that aren't too crazy with Mike Tomlin anymore. So she would not be upset if all that happened. But quarterback room's a little crazy. Bring back Mason Rudolph. You got Will Howard and, of course, Aaron Rodgers. They're going to roll the dice with Rodgers as a start. And here's where I'll throw in my hot take on this. We have them at 8-9. That's assuming Aaron Rodgers plays the season.
Mm-hmm.
I say if 50%, either 8 or 9, I don't care which number, if 50% of the starts go to Will Howard, they'll hit 9-8 and keep the record going. There will be a 1-game difference. That's just my hot take. I like the Will Howard pick. It makes sense. I like his style of play. It's a Steeler pick. It's really a good pick. So seeing him later in the year, he probably won't get half the season. But I agree. I think you'll see him later in the year. As far as DK Metcalf, I think you might see a little bit of what we saw last year, like you mentioned with Russell Wilson hitting George Pickens. I think early on you're going to see it, and people are going to be like, wow, where has this been for the Steelers? But it's going to be very short-lived. I don't think it's going to be even half a season. It's a good combination for a younger quarterback, a more mobile quarterback. I don't think Rodgers, he'll be better probably overall than he has been in a couple years, but he is not the answer. He is not what they're looking for. Defense, like you said, that's the identity. We know it. It's not going to change. It's perfect defense for the AFC North. That's what we should expect. All 4 teams have a strong defense.
It's the Lions all over again. We're going to drag you to the wins. Oh, man, it's going to be frustrating to watch, but Will Howard is in the best situation to be a hero.
Yes, he is.
And to be the face of the Steelers for a long time. Not only is he really close with Ben Roethlisberger, but he's been soaking everything in with Aaron Rodgers, and he's assuming a position. He's not going in there and saying that, like, I'm going to be the next best thing.
Right.
He's sitting back, and he's from Pennsylvania. He's from Downingtown.
Yeah.
So he's a Pennsylvania guy through and through. So he's just waiting his turn. His family's going to be all of his games. It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool for him to play it in the NFC North. So we shall see. After spending so many years at Kansas State and Manhattan, coming all the way to the East, back to the East Coast to go to Ohio State, and now he's a little bit more closer to home.
Yep.
Little bit. Just one state over. It's going to be frustrating for the Steelers. If I was a Steelers fan, I would just have my hands on my armpits and praying to the gods,